Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. Imagine a company, let's call it Stark Industries. This company sells and maintains computers and workstations. We are in the early 2000s, so it's a rapidly growing market. At the beginning, when the maintenance service started in the early days, it was very easy to track the issues that the company received via email or by phone. But as the volume grows, it becomes harder and harder to follow, and that was the first difficulty. The second is how to handle the huge amount of the maintenance needs, how to optimize the resource allocation, which become more and more complicated by the rising amount of the service items. And the third issue was to do the actual maintenance on site, do the administration of that. So first, when there were only a few requests per day, it was quite effective to do everything on paper, but it's not viable anymore. Now we have three different challenges, and let's see how we can solve those with the help of our first product in the demo. This is Servotion. Tibor, can you show it us?
Sure. As Bertolt mentioned, this fictive company has challenges in three different areas. The dispatchers can't organize and overview the daily work of the technicians. Secondly, the huge amount of service tasks to be scheduled per day. And finally, the actual administration of the work by the technicians. Servotion is a software package, and it consists of different software elements which targets the different areas. Servotion contains a customer portal, which will address the transparency of the company against the customers and also decreases the administration work of the dispatchers. It also contains a graphical scheduler, which provides a nice user interface for the dispatchers where they can organize and overview the technicians during their daily work. Servotion also contains a mobile nav application, which eases the administration of the service tasks by the technicians. And finally, it also contains an automatic resource allocation module, which will organize the service tasks automatically on the most optimal way. So let's see this in action. First of all, let's log into the customer portal of Servotion. To the customer portal, obviously, I need to log in with a customer login. In this case, John Wick, who is an employee of Salgorian Ltd. After logging in, I'm presented with a welcome screen, and in the menu items, I can access my filtered data. Like I can access my service items, where I can see the service items of Salgorian Ltd. If I click on a service item, I can see the details, like not the number of the service item, the serial number, or the warranty ending dates. In the My Service cases, I can see the open service cases, and if I click on it, then I can also see the details like the status or the promise dates. But I can also create new ticket. If I click on the new case, I'm presented with a form, and by clicking on the service item number, I can select the service item which I have the problem with. In this case, I'm only having one, so I don't change that. In the symptom code, I can enter a symptom which helps the Stark Industries to identify the problem. And in the fault command, I can describe the problem, like burning like hell. I can also attach pictures. So let's attach one. I took a photo from my PC, which is burning. And finally, I press the send request. At this moment, the customer portal will synchronize the modifications, and this new case will be uploaded to the Business Central, and it will be created as a service order there. So let's open the Business Central and check out the service order. If I scroll down on the created service order, you can see that the customer symptom code is burning, the service item number is 8, and if I scroll and go to the service item worksheet, then we can also see the details and the attached pictures as well. Servotion not just creating a service order in Business Central, but it also synchronizes that into the graphical scheduler, in this case Dime. And it will be an open task in Dime, so the technician can simply drag and drop it to the timeline of a certain technician, in this case Linda. Now let's quickly log in with Linda into Mobile Navy, which will be used by the technician itself. Once the technician is logging in, he will be provided with a notification that a new service task has been assigned to him. He can very simply click on the notification, and that will automatically open up that particular service task on his screen. The technician can see the details of the service task, like the document number, the service item number, etc. If he clicks on the service item number, that will open up the details of the service item. If he scrolls down, he can see the allocation, the different codes, and if there is any picture, in this case, he can also check the picture, what has been attached by us from the customer portal. Once he accepts the job, he can press the travel button. And once he does that, then it will automatically goes back to the graphical scheduler. And in the graphical scheduler, as you can see, it changed to orange, which also indicates the state. And also the Servotion will modify the allocation date, because it will calculate with the travel time to that address. And since it's almost 8 o'clock past, it will require 2 hours that has been assigned to 22 today. Now let's imagine that I'm traveling with light speed, so I will now press the start button. At this point, the system will require me to enter my GPS coordinate, and I cannot really cheat, and this can be used for controlling purposes, since the technician should register his GPS location. I will press the use button, and then it will register my GPS coordinate and start the service task. If we go back to the graphical scheduler now, we can see that the allocation has now again adjusted to the actual date and time, which is a couple of minutes past 8. Now we can go back to Mobile Navy, and the technician can fill out his service item worksheet by entering the lines, selecting the quantity, and press the calculate button, which will register the resource with the spent hours. He can capture the signature. He can print out the service item worksheet. You can also access the troubleshooting guide, and you can also configure an answer group and questionnaire for the technician with mandatory questions. In this setup, I have just created a couple of example questions, like measure the living room and etc. If you open that, then you can fill out the questionnaire, and the system will let you finish the service task. Finally, you can also attach pictures, of course. You can take a photo immediately or just upload an already existing photo, and at the end of the process you can press finish. At that moment the allocation will also be truncated in Dime Scheduler, as you can see, because now I have finished the job, so that the dispatcher will know that I'm free to continue with other tasks. In Business Central, we can check the service order, which has been now finished. And if we go to the service item worksheet, we will see that everything has been filled out, the codes, the symptom codes, the line items, and also the signature and the taken pictures by a technician or from the customer portal. So finally, we can post the service order. And we can also check out the posted invoice. Finally, let me show you the automatic resource allocation tool. In the automatic resource allocation tool, you need to enter a finishing date until you want to do the schedule calculation. In this case, I will enter 24th of October, and I will press OK. At this moment, the system will calculate the most optimal schedule, and I will be provided with a calculation result, which contains a couple of modifications or allocations. If I press allocate, then the system will do these allocations and apply these allocations for me. Now let's switch back to Dime, and you can see the result that now the allocation will be modified. All the allocations which were already in the past has been rescheduled, and everything is organized and optimized in the most optimal way.